Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so South Sudan just gave the USA team all they could handle, man. We only won that game by one, basically close to a finish that was going to be never forgotten if Sudanese players would have gotten a simple putback that they weren't able to overcome. But Wenyen Gabriel, man, one of the most underrated players I've seen in this latest era of basketball. He doesn't get any credit, but he was great for us for a year. One of the best offensive rebounders we had. He hit 3 threes tonight. You know, so there were some dudes that I've never heard of their names. One dude went for a triple-double. Another dude went for like 5 threes or 4 threes. I mean, I tell you the truth, man. I didn't watch this entire game. I turned it on probably with like 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And I had understood it to be that we were down by a good portion of the game. I don't know exactly what the margin was, but for like 20 minutes of this basketball game, USA was down. And in the end, if it weren't for LeBron James' heroics driving at the rim, we probably would have lost for certain. And the only thing that I kept looking around and seeing was small ball. Small ball. Offensive rebounds going to Sudan for second chance points. They were turning the buckets. On the other end, if it wasn't LeBron James or Anthony Davis, basically Lakers, Jason Tatum to a degree, using size to overcome the Sudanese players, it was Derek White and Steph Curry bricking shots and not rebounding on either end. Small ball. Drew Holiday, small people that they were able to run past. Small ball. I cannot stress this enough. I do not care what level of basketball you're playing. If you're going to go small, this is going to be what happens to you. I've seen it consistently. I've watched 2 different coaches from my Laker team run this crap consistently. We get our butts whooped every single time the same exact way. You're giving up size and rebounding in a game where the idea is to shoot the ball into the air. So the people who are able to get into the air the soonest are likely to have the advantage. And that gets foregoed by so many great basketball minds because of the ability to dribble around the perimeter, shoot from behind the arc. It's like that doesn't give me as much of an advantage as I'm giving up to the sky itself for which this game is played. I cannot stress it enough. Small ball is loser ball. Probably 80% of the time, yo. I don't care the level of talent because the game is played in the sky. And that's the point. I don't care that you got a bunch of Hall of Famers on the floor or a bunch of guys that made a lot of money for Nike. If they're smaller than the other team, if everybody on the other side is 6'8" and above, and you're running 3 small guards on the floor in one period of time, you got Derek White, who's like my height, Steph Curry like my height. It doesn't matter how good they are. The ball is going to be caught sooner by the other people who just so happen to be able to get to it faster than they can, and that creates more opportunities and more shots at the rim. The math tells you that every time, and these coaches keep on running small ball, and it keeps on kicking their behinds. It's trash, man. It's trash when the Lakers do it with a bunch of regular guys. It's trash when Team USA does it with a bunch of upper echelon guys. If everybody's going to be small, you're going to fall. That's the rule. That's the rule. And I'm so glad it happened in this way because it showed us all that even when you have the best players on the floor against a bunch of guys that you've never heard of, it's the same dynamic, because at the end of the day, second chance opportunities to players equals more opportunities to shoot. And it's basketball. And that's exactly what you're going to allow when you allow for smaller people to be on the floor against bigger people. They're going to get to the ball first. They're going to have easier chances at easier buckets that are putbacks and things like that. And on the offensive end, if that 3 ball doesn't fall, they're going to be the ones pulling down the defensive rebounders, going the other way, and using their size to further, push their agenda. This is why I made this video, not to really react to the game, but to just further reiterate the truth that I've been watching all of my entire adult life. Teams going small and proceeding to give up offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, and easy putbacks, so that they can dribble around the paint. We can dribble, we can shoot from far away. They can't keep up with us because we can break them off the dribble, and then you run past dude, but your little tiny behind is gonna get swatted at the rim even if you beat him. Why? Because he's taller than you and he can get to the ball faster than you could probably get it to the rim. In most cases, which is what we often see, what it is that dynamic provides. So if Steph Curry ain't hitting threes, which he was cold tonight, Derek White's fresh to the team, so they don't know him, he don't know them. I mean, he turning the ball over and stuff like that, getting pushed around out of bounds, stuff like that. I'm like, man, listen to me. Y'all wanted to bring in Derek White over Jaylen Brown. This is why you don't do that. For all the little political reasons, for all the little concerns that you have about bringing in a guy like Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, you don't lose this game, Jaylen's on the floor. Luckily enough, you didn't lose at all because LeBron was on the floor, but the point it ain't going to be this close. Why? Because he's going to have a higher chance of getting to some of the offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds that Derek White, poor little self, couldn't get to. That Steph Curry, poor little self, can't get to. They could not help themselves. They were getting pushed and beat to lose ball. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. And I only watched 8 minutes of it, but I'm willing to bet that's what really happened. Everybody on Sudan, with the exception of the point guard, was like 6'6", 6'7". And they were shooting well. And people could toy around with the idea that Wenyen Gabriel's supposed to be trash, but I'm telling y'all, I watched him closely for a whole year and a half. The boy don't suck. He really don't. Probably one of the most disrespected basketball players in the game, to be honest with you. When you consider what all he did for my Lakers and the fact he couldn't get back on the floor after that. How much he helped us in circumstances just like these, where we ran a bunch of small ball consistently, and he was the only one able to get boards for us. He needs to be in the league. And so there's several other of those guys. But the problem with Team USA was not the talent. It's the size. You want to run 3 guard lineups. You want Derek White and Steph Curry to be on the floor together because you're a homer, Steve Kerr, and you want your guy Steph Curry on the floor even on a cold night. This is what happens. You almost lose. And it's going to cost you gold. You keep doing this. Just like it cost the Golden State Warriors when he does it. Small ball is trash, bro. Period. I don't give a damn what level of talent you got out there. This is what comes of it. You barely win by 1 against a team that you know damn well you should beat by 40. This was embarrassing. And if it wasn't for my own Laker, LeBron James, this game goes down the toilet, and we have even more worse things to say about how this panned out. Y'all better thank the king. All y'all need to be buying him dinner for the rest of this damn thing, because this was going to be the most embarrassing loss in USA history. Bar none. BDL 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.